Hey everyone, this is PrinceBrightstar, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Heavensward. Let's go ahead and log in. We have the Grand Melee coming up here. And then hopefully that will unite the people of Ishgard. Alright, let's speak to Thancred, turn in the quest from last time. Gods help me, I think it might be love. I dare say it might be cheating, too. Your mere presence is enough to turn the tides of most battles. And did you see the way his eyes lit up when you nodded? 'Twas a look of boundless relief and joy. One would think a politician more practiced at concealing his emotion. Still, his honesty does him credit. For a moment, I was fair inspired to pledge myself to the cause, but that would be improper. This is their fight, and yours, but not mine. Alright, let us grab a max potion here. Sir Emmerich informs me that the Alliance leaders have agreed to his proposal. The Grand Melee will be held here, in the shadow of the Gates of Judgment, and in sight of the capital. An announcement has been made, and Allied forces are currently en route. The eyes of Ishgard are upon us, Prince. We must not fail. A rare opportunity to see you pit yourself against Allied forces, outside of Carteneau, perhaps. I would not miss this for the world. Alright, let us make our way over to the Gates of Judgment. Oh, and just for reference, I am now at item level 222, so I am very close to the goal that I've set. And there is a Madeleine. There he is, I say. When you didn't appear, I began to question. Nothing, never mind. To think that we are mere moments away from facing the cream of Eorzea's soldiery in battle. That I am mere... But what if... Oh, what am I saying? I have to stop imagining the worst. I must think of the victory, of the glory, of the stories I will tell on Earth when he awakes. Alright, he's got that little bit of light around him. Let's cast Protect. And let's have ourselves some Knight's Bread. I am ready, old boy. Are you? Duty calls. Let's go. By the Fury, how could I forget? Father bid me present this to you. I know it is sudden, but we believe the men would find it inspiring if you bore the colors of House Fortomp into battle. Pray do us this honor. During the Grand Melee, some of your gear will be glamored. Your attributes and abilities will be unaffected. So there's Ralban and Pippin. And there we are.
Let all here present heed well the rules of engagement.
The Grand Melee is a large-scale battle in which an allied company of Ul'Dan, Gridanian, and Lominsan forces will be pitted against a company of Ishgardian forces. When a combatant is incapacitated, the opposing company will be awarded tactical points. The first company to attain the designated tactical rating of 100 points is declared the victor. During the Grand Melee, officiants may mark certain combatants with the Fury's Gaze, which will be indicated by an ethereal tear linking them to their company's flag. While defeating most combatants will award your company 1 tactical point, defeating marked combatants will award your company 10 tactical points. Marked combatants also possess enhanced attributes, rendering them more powerful and more difficult to defeat. Defending and defeating these combatants is the key to victory.
For the honor and the glory of Ishgard.
All is ready then. Very well. Brave men and women of the Eorzean Alliance, let the grand melee begin!
Alright, here we go. Alright, so we need to figure out who has that ethereal tear on them. There we go. Let's take out this Storm Veteran.
Ishgard!
There we go, that's 10 points for us. Let's try to heal this person up.
Is that all you've got?
Unfortunately, my provoke is not working on Storm Commander Ricky here. Alright, over to the Serpent Veteran here. We're leading by 9 points right now. Looks like Ricky's been marked as the one for the other team at this point. Let's take him out. There we go, we've got a fairly sizable lead at this point. At this point, I don't see any ethereal tears up the other team here, so I'm just doing my best to protect Lucia here. Looks like the tether's switched here. Right, we lost some points there, but that's okay.
Right there!
At this point, we've got a big enough lead that I think we can just finish him off. Oh hey, I've got the enhanced stuff now. Oh ho, this is gonna be one-on-one then. What is that thing doing here? Cyclops! Cyclops! Everyone on your guard! All forces, fall back! Nice uppercut there. Or should I just say Shoryuken? Continue the melee. I will deal with him. Deaf sod. You heard the man. Back to it. All forces, form a line on Prince, now! Oh wow, you really do want this to be one-on-one then. Well met. I will not lie. I was hoping it would come to this. So then, shall we dance? Damn it all. Alright, here we go. You think you can trick me with Ifrit's attack? At this point, it's just a race against time here, it looks like. Nice try there. Even more based on your fleet, huh? I'll take your swords down. Let's pop hollow ground, make sure we don't take anything from this. There we go. Try that again, huh? And that does it.
Did he win? Then we...
Victory is ours! Ishgard! Ishgard! Well fought, my friend! You truly are the warrior of warriors. Thank the Fury you were on our side.
Oh, my lungs are burning, and I can barely stand. I didn't think I could do it, but then I did. We did. We faced the Alliance's best, and together, with one heart, with one purpose, we prevailed. After 1,000 years of hardship, of strife and bloodshed, we are strong enough to rise to any challenge, be it on the battlefield or beyond. The future holds so much promise, so much joy. We need only show them the way.
A truly magnificent display, Sir Knight. While doubtless less than pleased, I am quite sure the Grand Companies are honored to have been bested by such valiant warriors.
The honor was ours, Your Grace.
I am pleased to see that Ishgard's proud martial tradition is being upheld. When the time comes, I trust you will fight alongside your brothers and sisters in the Eorzean Alliance with the same fervor you displayed in opposing them. I note that our friend elected to take the field in Ishgardian colors.
At my behest, Your Grace. If we have given offense, the blame lies with me.
Fear not, Sir Knight. It was a surprise, nothing more. And any hint of ill feeling was thoroughly dispelled by the spectacle of our mutual friend's duel with General Rauban. On the subject of surprises, I could not help but marvel at the passion and unity of purpose displayed by your countrymen, given the troubling reports we have received of late.
I shall take that as a compliment, Your Grace. The events to which you allude are the price of change. The end of the Dragonsong War marks the beginning of a new era for our nation, and for the people, high and lowborn alike, who will lead her into the future.
Ah, yes. The people. Change is indeed a perilous thing, for we who seek it, and they who fear it. I shall pray for Ishgard, and for you.
Well, that made for a refreshing change. Congratulations on your victory, by the way. Ishgardians certainly seem happy with themselves. I, for my part, am merely glad you did not strain anything in the process of single-handedly winning the battle for them. Tis but a scratch, I assure you, and I will not suffer you to worry over me. Not when we have a dozen far more important concerns. Make that 2 dozen. Still, as Y'shtola never tires of telling me, we can but face them head-on, one at a time. One day at a time. As Minfilia would have done.
Alright, let's speak with Rauban here. Paul's balls. I had forgotten what it was like to feel so alive. Not since leaving the Blood Sands have I had the privilege. Not since the Bull of Alamigo hung up his swords. Back then, the outcome might have been different. But I do not begrudge you your victory. I know how far you have come. How much you have endured. Our fight only confirmed it. We shall have to do this again one day, when time allows. I shall look forward to it. Now go. Go to the Ishgardians, and celebrate your victory. You have earned it. Come, Pippin. Her Grace is expecting us. Lead on, Father. Alright, back inside the Gates of Judgment then. Said your goodbyes? In all the years I have known Rauban, I cannot recall ever seeing him look so happy in defeat. Well, Everything seems to be falling into place, does it not? The Ishgardians have claimed their symbolic victory, and the Eorzean alliance has been strengthened in the process. Be proud, Prince. You made this happen. And we have learned the emote victory. We have done it. Nay, you have done it. You have brought us the victory we so desperately needed. There is naught left to do but to return to the capital. Come, let us see what reception awaits us.
My lord!
Honorwa, my boy. Shouldn't you be in bed?
Thank you for your concern, my lord. But I have largely recovered from my ordeal, and I have naught but several scars to show for it, which I have been told some women may find appealing.
I see. And to think I was worried sick over you.
I'm not sure I understand, my lord.
Well, let's put that theory to the proof, shall we?
My lord?
'Twould seem that a great many things have occurred in my absence. I thought I might begin to make amends by welcoming you in person.
The messengers spared not their chocobos to bring us word of your victory in the grand melee. I cannot well describe our elation when we heard the news. It called to mind the day we rejoined the Eorzean alliance, and I glimpsed hope rekindled in the eyes of the people.
The Fury herself ushers us into a new era. Sir Emmerich, the time is now.
Aye, that it is. Reconvene the conference and summon Vidofnir to Falcon's Nest. We will make peace with Hraesvelga's brood and hasten this bloody war to its end.
Yes, Lord Commander.
I will send word to Artoirel and bid him resume preparations. Emanelaine, you will place yourself at your brother's disposal. He will be glad of your assistance.
No stopping it now, is there? We should inform Y'shtola and the others.
My dear friend, I doubt I will ever be able to thank you enough. But when the conference is successfully concluded, I damn well mean to try.
Alright, let's speak to Alpha No. They say you dueled General Raban within a ring of flames. I did not think the man so ostentatious. Would that I could have seen it. After we parted ways in Matoya's cave, I returned here to speak with Tataru. We agreed to tell the others only that our search for Minfilia had reached an impasse. I subsequently learned that you had left for Falcon's Nest, but I thought it best to keep to myself at the time. I am wont to rely on you overmuch when we are together, and I needed to think, to reflect. I still do, I suspect, but matters here seem to be coming to a head. In short, there are some things I feel I must say, though nothing so urgent that it cannot wait until after the conference. So let us make for Falcon's Nest and see if Lord Artoriel has need of our assistance. Alright, indeed, let us make our way over to there. And they should be up here somewhere. There, I can see it. Well met, Master Brightstar, and thank you for looking after my brother. They say he fought bravely, that he did not dishonor his house, but you, my lord, to you we owe everything. As you can see, we have made every effort to strike while the iron is hot. We made our intentions known, and that all would be welcome to attend, and so they came. By the grace of the Fury, they came. The ceremony will not be a lengthy affair, but there is still much to be done. I would speak with you more, but I must see to my duties. As for you and Master Alphino, you will do naught but enjoy yourselves. Is that clear? If any dare beg your assistance again, I will have words. Well, there you have it. We have been forbidden from meddling. Shall we wait, or have you other matters to attend to before the ceremony begins? Let us wait with Alphino for the ceremony to begin. Excellent. I only hope Thancred and the others will not be late. Epochal events do not come around very often.
The appointed hour approaches.
Aye.
She begged leave to watch the proceedings. I saw no reason not to grant it.
Should I choose to deviate from my prepared remarks, I ask that you trust in my judgment.
Have I ever done otherwise?
How long it hath been since our peoples met thus, children of Thordan, even by our reckoning.
Vidofnir, daughter of Hraesvelga, we give thanks for your visit, and bid you welcome to Falcon's Nest.
Our sire bade us hearken unto the whispers of our hearts. They spoke to us of a paradise lost, of bonds of brotherhood, which they yearn to see restored.
Ours too yearn for such a restoration, and they have guided us here this day, that they might yearn no longer. Brothers and sisters, ye who stand as witness, hearken to me. Since the days of Eld, when the bonds betwixt man and dragon were sundered by our hand, our peoples have known only war. Bloodshed without end, losses beyond counting, and still we fought. Some wounds do not heal. The dead cannot be returned to us. But we, the living, can yet choose another course. Here and now, we can lay down this burden, this hatred, this vengeance. Our forebears fought not so that we could die, but that we might live. So let us honor their sacrifice and spare our children this death sentence. Let us gift them a new legacy. Life.
Betwixt our peoples yawneth a divide deeper than the deepest abyss, wider than the widest sea. Generations will live and die ere this divide is bridged. Knowing this, doth thy heart yet yearn for peace, son of Thordan?
Look now on the legacy we would leave to our children. A dream of peace, inscribed in stone for generations to come.
Father and his beloved, as they were so long ago, happy and at peace. The dream they shared shall be ours once more.
Never!
Your bow!
Child of Dravania, art thou grown so forgetful that thou wouldst forsake kith and kin and consort with the spawn of Thordan? That thou wouldst dare contemplate peace? Hearken unto me, all of you! The final chorus is nigh, and all will be held to account. All will bathe in the flames of retribution. Till the coming of that day, look you on your sins and despair, for none shall escape my wrath. None shall escape my revenge!
Seven hells. Nidhogg.
Hells, take that worm! While he lives, we'll never know peace.
Aye! There'll be no end to this war till Nidhogg is dead and gone!
So let's kill the bastard and be done with it! Death to Nidhogg! Death to Nidhogg! Death to Nidhogg!
Death to Nidhogg! Death to Nidhogg! Death to Nidhogg! Death to Nidhogg! Death to Nidhogg! Death to Nidhogg!
There they go, the last of the guests. Having come hither with hope in their hearts, they depart with hatred and bloodlust. Until the moment I saw him strike, I still held some small hope that what you had seen in Azizla was an illusion, perhaps. But he acted without hesitation, as did Sir Emmerich. For a mercy, Vidofnir's wound was not mortal, or so Lucia tells me. The dragon was spirited away to Annex Shrine to receive care from her brethren. We can but hope her recovery is swift. But such was surely Nidhogg's intent, to deliver a proclamation not only to the children of Thordan, but to his kindred. War is coming, and yet who do not stand with us stand apart. She was an example, a message to her brood. Another instrument of his vengeance, like Estinian. Alright, let's see what options we've got here. In this particular case, let's go with the strength materia. When I said I wished to speak with you after the conference, I confess I envisaged rather happier circumstances. If anything, however, this latest tragedy makes the need more pressing. There are things I must say. Not to the Warrior of Light, or even my fellow Scions, but to you, Prince. My friend. But not here, no. Ah, but of course, the intercessory in Camp Dragonhead is still open to us. Let us go there. Alright, so to Camp Dragonhead we go! And we need to head down here.
Forgive me. That took longer than expected. You seem puzzled. Oh, these. I thought something warming might not go amiss. It was not all that long ago that we sat here, you and I. In our very own falling snows, as Lord Horshvon called it. I still struggle to believe he is gone. And Azelle too. I had such hopes for her. Master Matoya asked me what it was all for. Why we fight, and why we die. Were I still commander of the Braves, I would doubtless have replied, for the future of Eorzea. But I'm not that man. Not anymore. I needed a new answer. One that I could live with. And when I saw Estinian at the ceremony, I knew at last what it was. I do not want to be a man who sacrifices his friends and family for a cause. I want to fight for Estinian, and I want to save him. When Nidhogg leads the Horde into battle, Ser Emeric and his forces will do what they believe must be done. That is their choice to make. Yet even if Ser Emeric is willing to forsake Estinian, I am not. We must fight for him, for he is our friend and ally. We may struggle, we may fail, but we must try.
We will find a way to save him.
We will. I know we will.
Thank you, Prince. It is unfair of me to unburden myself in this manner, time after time, but I am glad that you permit me nonetheless. You are my true friend and ally. Though not all our fellow Scions will support our stance on Estinian, I have faith that we will win them over in due course. Such is the infectious power of hope. Right, that is quite enough solemn introspection for one day. I think we would both benefit from some time in the company of Tataru. She stays for us at Fort Hops Manor. Let us not keep her waiting any longer. Alright, back to Ishgard we go! And let's head to the last vigil. Yet again, we walk in all too familiar path. I am reminded of when we first came to this manor. Lost and uncertain, we were granted succor in our hour of need. We were saved, and now it is our turn to return the favor. Hear, hear! Let no one say that the Scions do not repay their debts. After all, what kind of people would we be if we forsook our friends? If we stopped looking for Ida and Papalymo, or if we gave up hope of bringing Minfilia back? Though she knew it would cost her dearly, Minfilia reached out to us to deliver a message. She believed it was imperative that we understand the true nature of this star, of the rift between Zodiark and Hydaelyn, and of the Ascians' aspirations. But for all that has been revealed, I cannot shake the suspicion that there is much we have yet to learn. In any event, I think it time we step back from the fray and carefully consider our next course of action. It will not be easy to turn this tragedy to triumph, But we will find a way. We will. We will. Alright, and we have learned the emote Battle Stance.
Of all the ways for it to end. Even before his transformation, I could feel the worm's hatred swirling about Estinian. The terrible, all-consuming rage. Enough to fuel a 1000-year quest for vengeance. It was all I could do not to run away screaming. But Ishgardians, nay, all Eorzeans, are made of sterner stuff. They face danger and death on a daily basis, and understand what it takes to win a war.
Think not too deeply on Master Matoya's words. Her intent was but to steal our resolve. That, and to remind us to look beyond these passing conflicts to trials greater still. To the truth which hides at the heart of this world.
So that's your aim, is it?
You disapprove?
Not at all. I believe it's traditional for the student to follow in the footsteps of the master. And you are so very alike.
Change. That great inexorable wave was upon us, and soon all of Ishgard would bend to its will. For all our sins, for all our scars, the future for which we had long yearned was at last within our grasp. But it would be bought at a heavy price. For in those twilight hours did Nidhogg cry out for vengeance, and his brethren raise their voices for the final chorus of the Dragon Song War.
From the memoirs of Count Edmont de Fortamps, Heavensward, The Gears of Change. Caution, Ida. That is all I ask. Do not be so eager to place your faith in them. Not until we know more. And with that, patch 3.2 is complete. We are now on to patch 3.3. Ah, Master Brightstar, it is well that you are here. You are wanted within. I believe Master Alphino wishes a word with you. Let's head on inside. Ah, Prince, there you are. Have you a moment? There is something I would fain discuss. I must ask that you recall the events which unfolded at the Peace Conference, though I dare say you would sooner forget them. My mind returns again and again to the moment when Nidhogg appeared, before the crowd in the guise of Estinian. It was a sight to chill the soul, but one which gave me reason to hope our friend might not be beyond salvation. When you described his fateful transformation at Azizla, I feared him lost forever, but the mere fact that some semblance of his former self endures must surely count for something, unless I have no evidence to support this impression. Thus did I turn to Y'shtola and Kryl for a more empirical appraisal. And full glad am I that I did, for it would seem they have some observations of their own to share. The ladies have saved us a table at the Forgotten Knight. Shall we go? Excellent. Let us not keep our honored colleagues waiting. Alright, let's hit the Aetherite. And take it to the Forgotten Knight. There they are.
We have kept you waiting over long, I fear.
Not to worry, Alphino. We had some rather fine mulled wine to keep us company. Truth be told, you could have delayed your arrival a few moments more.
Gibrion got the spicing just right this time. His latest batch is not only delicious and warming, but soothing to the humors.
Indeed. But 'twas not to soothe our humors that we gathered here.
Ah, no, quite right. The matter of that poor dragoon.
You have discovered something. A means to save him?
Let us not jump to conclusions, shall we? Assess the facts presented, then make an educated analysis, as you were taught.
Pray, cast your mind back to the moment of Estinian's transformation. Do you recall how you described it to us? You spoke of the sudden pangs which racked his body when he took up both of Nidhogg's eyes, and of how his form was twisted thereafter into a shadowy semblance of the Great Worm.
When he appeared at Falcon's Nest, the worm's eyes were fused to his mail.
Would that only his armor had been corrupted. Snaking forth from the eyes, I descried dark tendrils which entangled his very being. His ether has been all but smothered.
Then he is lost to us forever?
What did I just say about jumping to conclusions? Y'shtola clearly stated all but smothered. As I later discovered, her impression matched my own. Though Nidhogg's presence filled my mind's eye, beneath his seething aura, I sensed the merest hint of something else. And after listening to Y'shtola's observations, I became more certain of my suspicion that the something else I had sensed was, in fact, the trace of a different will, submerged in the sea of Nidhogg's rage.
You mean?
Yes, 'tis like that Estinian spirit yet lingers.
Can we not wrest him from Nidhogg's grasp, then? Tear the eyes from the armor?
We know not if that would serve to separate Worm's soul from man's. None have ever attempted such a feat.
Should it offer even the faintest hope of success, then by the gods, I shall be the first to try.
Alphino. By all means, hold fast to your hope, but be mindful of the dangers. Even should you succeed in excising the eyes from the Dragoon's mail, we have no way of knowing if your friend's soul would survive so violent a separation. And that is to say nothing of the possibility that his would-be savior might become Nidhogg's next host.
But what other choice remains to us? Should the opportunity present itself, I will tear those foul orbs from Estinian's armor and trust in the resilience of his soul, even at the risk of mine own.
Ah! I found you at last! A messenger of the Temple Knights came to the manor some few hours past. The Lord Commander humbly requests the company of the Warrior of Light and Master Alphino.
Sir Emmerich would speak with us. Very well, thank you, Anawa.
'Twould seem duty calls. Pray see to yours, and we shall return to ours.
Thank you, Y'shtola, Kryl. Your words have given me hope where there was none. Come then. Sir Emmerich awaits.
Alphino is allowing his feelings for this Dragoon to cloud his thoughts. I worry he may do something rash. Keep an eye on him, would you?
They think more of their friends' deliverance than their foes' defeat. But will history commend their fealty or condemn their folly?
The conference held at Falcon's Nest was to be a celebration of the reconciliation twixt man and dragon. But the lingering shade of Nidhogg, clad in the flesh of the Azure Dragoon, did mark the occasion by spilling the blood of his own kind. A timely atrocity to remind the children of Ishgard that the Dragonsong War was far from over. And when fear gave way to fury, the call to arms rang out anew. Death to Nidhogg! Death to Nidhogg!
Alright, let's go speak to Sir Emmerich. What news has Sir Emmerich to share with us, I wonder? Might Sir Emmerich perchance have received a word of a Dravanian advance? Or perhaps, or mayhap, they have located that is to say, mayhap Nidhogg has been found. Come, I would hear what the Lord Commander has to say.
My friends, I thank you for coming.
You have had news of Nidhogg?
Alas not. Our scouts range far and wide, but they have as yet found no trace of the Great Worm.
We dispatched an elite unit of dragoons to reconnoiter the churning mists, but even they returned empty-handed.
A pity.
Fear not, Alphino. We shall see the worm again soon enough. His words at Falcon's Nest attest to that. Indeed, he is like to come sooner than we would wish.
I assume Ishgard's defenses are being bolstered as we speak?
With all haste. I mean to call upon every able-bodied warrior at our disposal, from the Knights of the Four Houses to the men and women of the Watch. But I did not summon you to discuss strategy.
What then would you have of us, my lord?
I will speak plain. Now that Nidhogg is possessed of both of his eyes, no mortal force we can muster will repel him. That being the case, we must needs recruit an ally of equal strength.
You speak of Hraesvelgr?
I do. To whom else could we turn?
That he is Nidhogg's equal I do not deny, nor can I name another. But convincing the reclusive creature to do battle with his own brood brother will be... how shall I put this?
It will be no small undertaking, yes. Estinian's report was most particular about Hraesvelgr's unwillingness to involve himself in the affairs of men. But much has changed since your visit to Somal. And if there is even a chance that the dragon may be swayed, I must plead our case. Whatever price the dragon asks of me, I shall pay it. Such was my oath, to defend the people of Ishgard. Come what may, my friends, the battle with Nidhogg will mark the end of my tenure as the acting head of church and state. Will you help me discharge this final duty?
We will, my lord, though I fear our involvement offers no guarantee of success. Come then, we will depart at your leisure.
Thank you. Both of you. The city is yours, First Commander.
My lord, we shall pray for your swift return.
Alright, let us speak to Sir Emmerich one more time here. It grieves me to impose upon you in this manner, but you of all people understand the threat we now face. It is no imposition, Sir Emmerich. To Prince and I, Ishgard is as a second home. After the many battles we have fought, and the bonds we have forged, the plight of your nation has become our own. If there is aught that we can do to aid in its salvation, then pray impose all you must. You are true friends. Shall we be about our task then? We have no way of knowing when Nidhogg's shade will strike, but we must assume that time is not our ally. Indeed. With that in mind, I have taken the liberty of dispatching a messenger to inform Mistress Tataru that you will be escorting me to Somal. I confess I did not provide the exact details of our destination, as they are yet unknown to me. We will summon Hraesvelgr at Zenith in the Churning Mists. Ere we begin our ascent, however, I think it best we pay a visit to Anix Shrine. You seek an advantage in the coming negotiations? I do. I would consult with Vidolfnir. I propose this in part out of concern of her condition. Were she to succumb to her wounds, it could have grave consequences for our alliance. That apart, she may be able to provide insight into her sire's current state of mind. Well reasoned. To the Dravanian Forelands, then. Alright, so let's make our way over to Onyx Shrine. And now Vidofnir should be upstairs somewhere. There they are. Ah, 'tis the warriors of warriors and his companions. What bringeth you to mine abode? Pray forgive us for disturbing your recuperation, Vidofnir. I hope your wound does not pain you overmuch. Didst thou imagine me close to death? The thrust was deep, but not mortal. I will heal in time. Full glad am I to hear it. You were the guest of honor at our conference, and we failed in our duty of protection. On behalf of Ishgard, I apologize unreservedly. I am a dragon full grown, and thou thought to protect me, mortal? I was tempered by the fires of battle ere thy great-grandsire learned to crawl. Thy words do remind me of a knight whom I called friend some 1,000 years past. He swore to defend me from harm and hardship. Would that we could return to that era in peace, when man and dragon knew such comradeship. Would that our every effort to do so were not undone by ancient rancor. For a truth there can be no peace while Nidhogg's shade yet lingereth. That much is plain, yet we lack the strength to banish him. Thus we make for Somal, to beseech the aid of your sire once more. Folly, thou knowest as well as I how he will answer. Hraesvelgur's heart remains unchanged then. A pity. But if it is folly to hope, I am content to die a fool. As hath ever been the way of with thy kind. Go then, but be warned, the Shade's presence hath driven its minions to frenzy. Thank you, Vidofnir. We shall disturb your rest no longer. Alright, let's see what we've got here. I would actually say that this dish right here is going to be more worth it instead of getting the parry, because really parry is worthless. It really is in the end. It just does nothing for a tank. I mean, it's supposed to help against attacks, but it just does not help as much as determination and crit. Though I expected no better answer from Vidofnir, I take little pleasure from having been proven right. 'Twould seem that our presence at Zenith will be every bit as unwelcome as I had anticipated. But what is the ire of one great worm to a trio of self-confessed fools such as ourselves? Let us begin our ascent. Thank you, Master Alphino. Scout ahead, if you wish, Prince. We shall join you outside Mogholm. Alright, let us make our way to Mogholm. There they are. I had heard tales of the world above the clouds, but never did I dream. One's mind paints a pale picture of its majesty. Few live to see such wonders. I am reminded of my first visit to this peak, when Estinian and Ysael yet walked at our side. Kupapa, is that you, Prince? Ah, if it isn't Tell me you've forgotten my name, Kupo, after all we've been through together? But at least you remember me. You do remember me, don't you, Prince? Unfortunately, all Mughals look alike. I see, Kupo. Then I suppose our time around the campfire meant less to you than I thought it did. It's Moghan, by the way. But putting our shared history to one side, what brings you and your friend to Mogholm, Kupo? Ah, another audience with old Racefugar. Well, I hope you've brought the horn, Kupo. With the winds as gentle as they are, a good loud toot should reach the great worm's ears easily enough. That is good to hear, Moghan. Thank you. We had best press on to Zenith, while the winds are in our favor. Now that was unexpected, Kupo. Chieftain Moglin will want to hear about this. Alright, let us make our way to Zenith. And in the past I had to mute the music, but I believe I have come up with a solution that takes care of that going forward here. Yes, indeed. Okay, great. Alright, so up and up the spiral we go once more. Alright, and here is our destination.
Great Hraesvelga, 'tis not lightly that we beg this audience. Pray hearken to our words, for they concern the future of man and dragon both.
Greetings, Hraesvelga. I am Emeric de Burrell, acting ruler of the nation of Ishgard. I am come before you to parley on behalf of my people. You foresaw mine intent.
Lis ech niteg kasmon ikin in, lis noan jas an es in, salen mon anesh, undahai in. Stapol I ani niteg, shin hes iso, al nuo fa is in an. Set osk kom I niteg kin an, nosk dei gan en.
We understand that in your despair at man's betrayal, you seek only the refuge of solitude. But despite your protestations of spent faith, do you not still nurture the smallest flame of hope? I do. If you claim I see falsely, then tell me, why did you consent to bear a Zell upon your back?
Is Kaisia in Holhes exkdier valsu nesk an in eskbar. An snarhau us hesner ikin en elan.
So you do distinguish between those who acknowledge and repent their sins and those who perpetuate them. Interesting. It seems to me that you have not, in fact, lost faith in mankind as a whole. Rather, you weigh our respective merits by how we allow the past to influence our future.
Snosk inletlai, nolosk asisan, ekmon kin unaen.
Should we suffer ties of blood to bind our hands, then? Nay, if the crime is one of unconscionable evil, we must needs condemn it, even should the transgressor be our closest kin. When my father corrupted himself and his followers with the power of a primal, I beseeched the warrior of light to slay him, an act alike to patricide. That he did not die by my hand matters little. If anything, it heaps greater disgrace upon my name. But had my father not fallen, he would have drawn countless thousands into a holy war of hellish proportions, which I hold the greater crime. Thus did I order his execution, sparing the lives of my people and yours. Alas, your brother Worm now prepares to murder those whom I sought to spare. What is more, he has taken my comrade's body for his own. But if I must slay my dearest friend to defeat my direst foe, I will not flinch from my duty.
Segmon infin, sesk antis ekmon, kill al ud.
It's about time you showed up.
Sloskna, dyrkin illes, kolhes nar inish, draor in. Da niteg, garjas, nosk in an, slisva holkas, kai in na.
While the shade of vengeance remains, the future will ever be uncertain.
Eskeniteg, eskedir ulga an, in an hesnesh an, jas ong, on inga. Al on ulwoga, smahes in an. Sway in Ratatoska this die an. Slosk kin. Skor ich les ilo.
Alright, so Hraesvelgr will give us a trial then. I believe I spied a wyvern landing just outside the palace. It is doubtless one of the children of whom Hraesvelgr spoke. Come, my friends, let us not keep our escort waiting. My broodmates and I will bear you to the place of your trial. Make your preparations. And with that, Sorkai is now available. Let us make our way inside. Alright, let's do this. Shield Oath on. Let's have some Knight's Bread. And we have these Cloud Gardeners to start things off. Alright, that's the first group. Let's move on. All the way over to this group here. Should be happening. I was actually hoping that they were going to take out the Enchanted Crayon first here, because that actually applies a buff when you take it out. There we go, we can see it right there. It applies haste to us for 20 seconds. That takes care of the Enchanted Fan. And it does not seem like it wants to trigger the haste buff again. Alright, and on we go to the first boss, and take a look at who it is. It is Chieftain Moglin! So, this is basically a 4-player version of the Mogul Mog fight. With a few variations. So right now we're just knocking out the Moguls. Watch that thing in the back there, it does that cross shape. DPS actually seems a little low here. At least compared to the other runs I've been in the past. What we need to do here at this point is basically knock the Moguls out of these circles here. Unfortunately, I couldn't get him out. The chieftain was in my way. Once again, avoid that, where it does the cross shape. Be the last of them. And indeed, none of them got res that time. Right, there goes the Mog Cane again. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do to knock those guys out of the way, so we're just gonna finish off the boss. Once we take down the castle, of course. There we go, first boss down. Alright, let's keep this going. Coming up, we've got some eggs that we gotta take out. Hoping at least they're able to take one of them out. Otherwise, I'm really gonna be concerned about the success of this. fact that that ninja there started attacking something that I wasn't even attacking. It's, this may not work out even at the second boss, to be honest. Move along to the next group here. So those earrings are actually worse than what we've currently got here. Alright, we are on to the second boss, and this guy has a few unique things that he does here. Basically, at one point, he is going to charge all the way across the battlefield, and you need to be up against a wall to make sure that you don't get hit by that. Underneath the walls here are electric fields. You want to avoid those. And then he also pops some clouds out. And you need to make sure that you basically don't have those spawning near where I'm standing, essentially. That's actually not good that those walls just got exploded there. Alright, so look for the impact point and then get up against the wall. There, he's using his Cloud Call ability. Alright, at least the ninja knew to do that there. Except they brought it a little too close to the unbroken wall there. Right, we're gonna have to stand right here. I'm gonna run over here because I want to protect that other wall. Maybe the only place that we can hide. I appear to be on fumes at this point since I did go down. My TP is all the way down to basically 0 at this point. And we lost our healer. They either disconnected or something else. Hey there, I. I'll give this guy a moment, but hopefully the healer does come back. I can't tell if that ninja's coming back or not. Alright, well, we can't wait around all day for this guy here, so I'm gonna go ahead and initiate this. I'm just giving them some instructions here. Looks like this may actually be a very well-geared healer here. Given that they've got similar HP to me. Okay, they're almost here, so then we'll be able to get this going again here. Alright, let's get this going here. Okay, he's taken off. Let's see where he goes. Okay, he's headed this way. I gotta move him. One cloud call, and once again they put it right up against the wall. Move them slightly this way. we're gonna have to go up against this wall. And moving slightly this way. Alright, looks like we got it this time. I am curious why Racefolger is trying to have us kill his Brugans. I believe we got better than that already. And it'll be the same for that. We've got both a 230 as well as a 260 ring at this point. The 260 ring I got from the scriptures that I picked up. Alright, and so we are taking on Racefolger himself. So, this battle is fought on multiple platforms here. And I'm going to start at the 12 o'clock position, and then he is going to eventually break them as the battle progresses. ninja doing over there? Or did some of the sprites pop up? The sprites being those things over there. They might not want to be on this platform here. We gotta get away from these. Now we can jump back. Correct myself in saying that we typically get another limit break if everybody moves on that quickly. Okay, looks like we did get it back. And down goes Freysfelgar. Alright, let's give our commendation... Oh, there's only one person left, actually. I would have given it to the healer. And let's get out of here.
Sis en Sleaze like K1. Oda.
Your trial is ended as well, then?
Mine was brutal beyond reckoning. Vedfalnir seems ill-acquainted with the notion of mock battles.
Tan in unsisnat. Swor as finan. Stiskar ikin. El en in an. Sedgar initek. Taishi S.I. Isa.
Alright, let's speak to Alphano. Oh, my poor ribs. Hraesvelgr saw fit to pair me with Vidofnir, but her ferocity was such that I began to wonder if I hadn't simply imagined her injury. Yet my trial pales in insignificance next to yours. How fared you in your duel with Hraesvelgr? I take from this that your battle was rather more involved than my own. Vidofnir seemed largely concerned with how long he could keep me rolling in the dust. Between dodging snapping fangs and slashing claws, I scarce had time to aim a blow. Had he truly meant to harm me, of course, I would not be standing here now. Plainly, his intent was to teach. His onslaught forced me to recall my training about the speed of a dragon, his balance, his blind spots. It was, in short, a very thorough lesson. Ah yes, what were you doing there? Ow, 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 Kupo! Prince, let me begin by congratulating you on the completion of your trial. For one with a name more befitting a jester, you fight with the savagery of a rabid demon. Do you see how my wings are kinked? Even my palm aches. After this drubbing, I fear my loyal subjects will have to bear the load of my personal chores for quite some time, Kupo. Possibly indefinitely. What? When I told you about Prince's trial, I didn't mean for the rest of us to suffer. That's triple shifts for you, Moghan. Triple, but that's not fair. There's no justice, Kupo. None at all.
Our negotiations proved rather more strenuous than I had anticipated, but the results seem well worth the effort.
The battle was indeed hard won. Thank you, my friends. I would never have earned Hraesvelgr's cooperation had you not seen fit to grant me yours. 'Twas your stalwart heroism that moved the heart of the Great Worm at the last. Any gratitude I can offer is but poor reward for your continued service to Ishgard.
'Twould seem our final reckoning with the dread worm is at hand. I only wish we had some inkling as to when he means to strike.
How about right now?
The cry heraldeth his coming. Nidhogg's shade hath taken wing.
It has begun. We must away to Ishgard.
I'll take the max potion. Ishgard will not last long against Nidhogg and his horde. We must away.
Aye. I must return to my city without delay.
Remember your training! We hold fast until the Lord Commander returns. Ugh. We must hold!
Reinforcements! By the Fury, that one is the size of Nidhogg.
Lord Commander!
You are late, Warrior of Light.
Watan and by in. Still walking. Nal u inga. Ikinfa and go has do in. Undo kai omon ikin in Castaga Stajas Skol Hes Som. Orsk mik in Iskja in wan ihe Dolun hikin hern esh. Sroskuan inna. Is ingar a. Liskol an. Nusgar akin. Sus ul war.
Alright, so the final steps of faith are now available. Let us go ahead and queue up for this. And that is an instant pop. Now at this point, Dragon Song would be playing, but once again, Square has its policies, so I can't go against that. Alrighty. I'm actually gonna switch over to Sword Oath so they can, so the other, paladin here can, tank. Alright, so Nidhogg does a number of things here in this battle, and it can confuse a lot of people the first time they see it. First, of course, you want to make sure you're getting out of those dark shadows there, and then he's going to use his hot wing here, and that then spreads flames around. He may also use hot tail, at which point you would want to get out of that in the middle instead. He's headed up into the air. He's going to do some dives. Once again, just get out of the path there. Alright, and now the tank picks up again. Those circular shadows. Here's Hot Wing again. Alright. So I just went into Shield Oath there. I have to pick this guy up. And then the other tank is on the other one. This guy in the middle cannot be tanked. He has no aggro table. He just attacks whoever he wants. And basically we have to burst all three of them down. There we go. And now he's taken the form of a half-man, half-dragon. Alamorn, that is a tank buster ability. We gotta try to separate as best we can for these circles. And then watch the impact point, as well as these lines. Like I said, this gets pretty confusing the first time you see it. Can try to stack the circles like that, just so you still have room to work with. Alright, into the third and final phase. This icon here, do not move away from the rest of the party. That's a symbol where everybody needs to stack on top of each other. The only one that may not need to do that is the tank. That is up to the tank if they're confident to be able to watch for that or not. There's Hot Wing again. And there's Hot Tail. I'm trying to add in what clemency I can here. just to help out with the healing if the healers need the extra help there. Overall, I think we've got this locked down. The only thing is that player over there is not moving in, so they probably don't know what's going on. We have a level 3 limit break, but some parties will actually hang on to that, just in case the healers need to do a mass battle res. It really depends on how the rest of the battle goes. Looks like the DPS are trying to use that for it, so... There we go. That took out about a third of what was left of his health. And down goes Nidhogg. Alright, only the Dragoon was left, so the commendation goes to them. Let's get out of here.
Estinian!
Is this to be mine end? Nay, I will not allow it. I am of the first brood. I am vengeance incarnate. I am Nidhogg. Thou shalt die by my hand.
This is not your hand, worm!
Thou wilt obey!
I would ask one last favor of you, Warrior of Light. Finish me, now, while I have the beast subdued! Waste your time. Kill me! It is the only way! Ending Nidhogg will be my final duty!
No! You can't die like this! I won't let you!
The echo. Will somebody take these from us and bring them to the edges of Hydaelyn?
The eyes! Cast them into the abyss!
Doesn't seem like the safest idea.
He lives. Ah, Estinian, my ill-fated friend.
Lucia, summon the healers. I want them ready to receive him.
At once, Lord Commander.
Allow me to do this much, at least. You have my gratitude, Hresvelga. Your deeds this day have saved a great many lives.
Ustra udin instra rare. An hesnesh.
Wouldn't you want your eye back?
The battle is won. We can do no more for Estinian now than bear him home and wish him well, even as Hraesvelga did. The rest we must trust to the hands of the healers and the grace of the gods.
Alright, and so with that, we are going to close out the events of patch 3.3 on the next episode. Thank you for joining me today. This is PrinceBrightstar signing off. I'll catch you next time.